We are here now in order to pay respect to the old son, in order to welcome in the new master. Thank you to our $5 patron, Citizen Lancelot, Art Goon, and Praise the Sun. And a big thank you to our $25 patron, the Mr. Greed. Now, before we hop into this reaction / breakdown to Deity, my Rustage, please leave your own thoughts on this song in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Any support would be appreciated. Now, let's get into the reaction. So, what's up, guys? I'm the Pencil, and here we are to do a reaction to... Oh my. We're here to do a reaction to Rustage's Escanor. And with that being said, there's also a song I listened to a whole bunch, so I wish I could say otherwise. I wish I could say I wasn't such a fan of Rustage, but unfortunately, I am. And also I'm a 70 Cents fan, so obviously when these dropped, I couldn't help but listen to them. Once again, similar to the other song, I haven't actually listened to this in a while. So, it's time for a juicy breakdown. Hopefully this one isn't as long as the last one. The last one was very long. However, we'll see. Let's hop into it right now with a ready 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, hello.
I love how, like, now I'm gonna listen once again, right? Like, I listened to the song a whole bunch, but I never really paid attention to background details or like try to break it down heavily. So now that I'm listening real close, I like the dun, 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 and it's slowly building. Like the piano, it starts off with one note, but I think you get.
I didn't see you come in. Look at what?
I think it actually is the one note on the piano, but it's slowly getting louder. And regardless, even if it isn't, and I'm just imagining things, the reason it's all like is one light, kind of inviting, simple, peaceful note, because this is supposed to represent the Escanor that's on the screen right now, the small, meek, kind Escanor. It's not loud and bombastic and crazy. It won't punch you in the mouth. So I like what you do there, Rustage. Like I said, Rustage, musical genius, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, like how he structures his songs around his characters, even before he really got into the whole I'm Rustage rapping with the theme of the character, and was just doing literal character raps. Like, it's fire, I'm not gonna lie.
Can I get you? I have some ale if you would like that. Just take a seat and oh, it's like that, is it?
Once again, and I think this is essentially kind of the same opening to Meliodas. Like this is literally Escanor's introduction scene entirely in terms of the modern 70 Cents manga. So Rustage just had to emulate that. Rush is spitting right now. Well, I can't help it. He's spitting.
You may want to step back.
Rustage came with so much heat and made me sneeze. However, sharp change, sharp cut, oh my. Hopefully, I'll check. If that blows my ears out, it'll be cut out. If it doesn't, we sneezing. However, regardless of that, sharp cut. I love that. And go from soft intro, non-singing. Oh, so I'm sorry. I have no idea what's wrong with me. You go from You go from sharp intro, no rapping, no singing, nothing. Well, no, soft intro, no rapping, no singing, no nothing. And then you essentially kind of just like it happened in the narrative. You go from this really quiet, unexpected dude to snap. You may want to step back. And like, listen to this change in his tone too. Listen to this.
Get down, get ready for my...
I have some ale if you would like that. Just take a seat and oh, it's like that, is it?
You may want to step back. Get...
Notably, Rustage isn't using filters there, and it's probably like, let's say not a retired musician, if you will. It's not too much of a shift in pitch, I'd say, and this is just natural modulation of tone, right? Like like I said, Rustage didn't use a filter for that. He just went, oh, hello, if I could help you. Like he lifted his voice up just a little bit. He gave himself a slightly higher register to emphasize the softer side of Night Escanor. And then the moment the moment that was done and he had to get into rapping, like, it instantly, I wouldn't say he even lowered his voice. I wouldn't say this is a lower register than what Rustage usually does. And I know he does something in the song to get to that lower register, which is, I'm going to talk about what that's supposed to reference. At least what I think it's supposed to reference later. But immediately he goes back to regular Rustage, and then you're listening and you note it. I just think that's cool. Great way to, once again, a great way to capture the character without saying, my name is Escanor, I'm not a bore, at night when I'm small, my feet get sore, I'm a big guy now, I'm up in the clouds. You know, like he didn't have to say that. He just implied it by how he structured both the video and the song itself. It worked. The song works independent of the video. That's great, and it ties into the character. That's great. That's impressive. All within what, 25 seconds. So Rustage, he killed it. He killed it. Let's go.
Down, get ready for my next attack. Hear your bones crack, it goes black. A known fact, I'm so fast, you think you're stronger than me. Ha! Who decides that? Taking a
Now, okay, there's so much in that opening little bit. Let's run it back and break it down bit by bit. I gotta let it run, but let's break it down.
Is it?
You may want to step back. Get down, get ready for my next attack. Hear your bones crack, it goes black. A known fact, I'm so fast, you think you're stronger than me. Ha! Who decides?
So it's that. Okay. Still, that build up. You notice that there, right? Like, hold on.
Is it?
You may want to step back. It's still like, it's that controlled restraint. See, I know I'm essentially just doing a scene structure breakdown, but I think that's what I can provide, right? As a person who is a fan of Seven Deadly Sins and who knows the series so well and writes about it narratively a whole bunch, like how I think Manga does certain characters and how much I understand certain of these characters, that's what I feel like I can bring. Because, like I said, I'm not Screwface John. I'm not a rapper. I'm not a musician. I'm not a Swampity. I'm not a Screwface John. I'm not a Rustage. I'm not a Rustage Reacts. I can't really tell you much about the musical stuff. I can just tell you how what little I know about the musical stuff ties into the character itself and how amazing it is for these rappers to do that. So that's all I can offer you. So I like how, once again, this ties directly into the scene where Escanor was introduced, where he rises up and still, at first, he's mostly calm, but he's threatening. Like the, you may want to step back, get down, get ready for my next attack. Like your bones crack, your bone pack. And that's a rhyming pattern I'm gonna get into. But like, note how it's like the slow progression. I want to say it's certain beats, but I can't. I'm not gonna go that in depth. But you may want to step back, get down, get ready for my next attack. Hear your bones crack. You know that is so fast. You hear that wrong. Zero bone. Like, it's that build up once again, and it's that sharp build up, kind of like how Escanor's power kind of just sharply rises, like right out of nowhere. He goes from 0 all night to once it hits morning, that thing starts to zoom. So once again, really, really good. However, I also like the rhyme scheme here. Listen to this.
You may want to step back, get down, get ready for my next attack. Hear your bones crack, it goes black. A known fact, I'm so fast, you think you're stronger than me. Ha! Who decides that?
Even though fast doesn't rhyme with anything. The rest of that is fire, because he literally, for a short bit there, and the reason he starts saying it faster so you don't hear the lack of rhyme and you kind of just finish on the character bar, which is good, we like that. But it's still extremely impressive that he managed to link all those words together. And like, back, attack. Wait, hold on.
Is it?
You may want to step
back. So let's just say the words in sequence. Back,
get down, get ready.
Attack.
For my next attack, hear your
crack, black.
Bones crack, it goes.
They all rhyme. I'm not even gonna lie like this, but it's the fact that he kept going with that sequence, only to suddenly break it at the end. And I think that at times it's weird, right? Like, I personally say, you kind of always want to be rhyming, like legitimately, no matter what, you kind of always want to be doing it, just because it comes across easier, and you won't get just over a ton of people like me be like, is there a rhyme scheme I'm missing? Like, that you won't get that. But at the same time, the reason the break works,
like a known fact, I'm so
fact and back. Like, that's a fancy one. That takes a little bit of stretching. However, known fact, I'm so fast. Like, I guess maybe he could have been trying to rhyme the fa and fa, like fast. Like, it's there, but you're so deep into the rhyme scheme towards the end that even if you were going for that, there's not enough space in there to call it that. So I'm just gonna call it a rhyme break. And typically you want to do a rhyme break, at least in my mind, for people like me, because it grabs your attention. Like it breaks you out. That's why it's called a rhyme break. So it pays attention, drags you back into the song, and then it leads into the iconic character line of
As you think you're stronger than me. Ha! Who decides
that?
taking
That's a bar. And that ties right back into the rhyme scheme. That, back, fact, crack, that. It's the at the end that rhymes with the k. Like that. Like crack, that. It's the little things I like with Rustage. It's the little things, But that's why the tss in fact or in fast doesn't work. But I think but once again, I pointed out, but I'm not sure if that's on purpose, if there was a purposeful rhyme break thrown in there, and or if Rustage just made a mistake and like thought the two fuzz would rhyme and fit within the scheme. Who knows? However, it's been way too much time early on, but welcome to That Got the Pencil. I break things down deeply. However, let's go.
A shot with divinity is my ability, hitting the killer you instantly feel the agility visually. I'm like a monster, literally, except when my dignity screams next attack.
Once again, like Rustage and none like Joshua and Suave. And I'm really just gonna start naming a whole bunch of anime rappers like heck, Peso Pete, DPS, like all these, Dizzy 8. Like there's so many different rappers I can react to. But in terms of like who I first started to hear rap fast consistently in the anime community, based on what I was listening to, obviously Rustage was, I think he still is the biggest. Like so far, like he's at like 2 mil or something right now. I should just check, but like he's definitely up there right now. But because of that, like he's the first exposure I had to fast rap in terms of its cohesiveness. I will always praise Rustage for making me able to understand all of that. Like
Hear your bones crack, it goes black, a known fact. I'm so fast, you think you're stronger than me. Ha! Who decides? Taking a shot with divinity is my ability, hitting the killer you instantly feel the agility visually. I'm like a monster, literally, except when my dignity.
You recording? Re-recording. Alright, so but the switch up once again. It's progression all over again. Still keeping to the theme of Escanor's power. Just growing and growing and growing. Except instead of like growing in bass, growing in number of voices, growing in anything like that, it's simply growth in audio. I don't know. It's growth in speed progression, how fast you're saying the words. But once again, it fits the character. And what Rustage specifically does is he puts enough emphasis on each word that you can still fluently understand it without needing the subtitles. And that is very difficult to do when you're still trying to get the effect of fast rap. And that's where like fast rap and mumble rap kind of blur lines. Like you can understand both if you break both down enough, but like if you rap too fast, might as well if you try to rap fast but don't rap fast enough, it essentially becomes mumble rap where it's just unintelligible. However, with fast rap, like Rustage does, it's very clear, it's very well articulated, it's well enunciated, and that's very hard to do and really, really good. However, let's get into it.
Like a sympathy, stop your hostility. Who decides?
Taking a shot with divinity. That's a bar, because obviously Escanor literally rolls around with multiple divine beings, and he takes shots at divine beings, like the Demon King, obviously. Though ironically enough, I think this fight does come out before the Demon King fight. And obviously, we know what the song is called, but taking a shot with divinity, and it works because his power literally comes from a goddess. It comes from the supreme deity. So he's taking a shot with divinity, and he's taking shots at divinity. That, once again, it's another line that ages well versus lines that may age poorly after a narrative fully comes out. It's really, really good.
So what divinity is my...
It's my ability.
Ability.
Divinity ability. Divinity ability. And I know that, like, I'm like pausing, like, ain't that epic? But to me, it is epic. Like, taking a shot, divinity, ability, hitting you instantly. Like, the multiple bits of rhyme in there. I think that's what helps with the enunciation, too. Like, it grabs you. Taking a shot with divinity, ability, it's my ability, it's you killing you, blah, 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 blah. But essentially, really, really good. And to be fair, it is his ability. Once again, I talked about came from my own. Good mention.
They killing you instantly.
Killing you instantly. Now, ironically enough, now I think about it, despite I mean, does Moleskula count as a one shot? Like, she kind of did herself in. But how many people does Escanor actually one shot? Like, in narrative. I mean, you could argue he one shot Gallon, but Gallon got back up. But that was Gallon's game, so maybe that doesn't count. But I still say it took multiple hits to take down Gallon. Moleskula did it to herself. Wow. I mean, you could argue he one shot Droll and Gloxinia, but they just instantly got back up. Mainly because of Gloxinia's healing, though, so that may have been a one shot. Meliodas was most certainly not a one shot. Zeldris wasn't a one shot. The Demon King wasn't a one shot. Yeah, honestly, I don't know so much about killing you instantly. However, still a bar. I like that. And once again, killing you instantly, ability, killing me, like, it's the rhyming. I love it.
Feel the agility visually, I'm like a...
Feel the agility. That's a... Feel the agility, ability, killing me. Like, oh my. That's just... I love it. Ironically enough, it is weird how fast Escanor is. I know it's like anime logic, so obviously big, burly, beefy men can be as fast as the plot needs them to be, but still I always find it ironically hilarious.
Monster literally.
Visually, I'm like a monster... Wait, no. Hold on, bro. That's a bar.
Next attack, hear your bones crack. It goes black, a known fact. I'm so fast, you think you're stronger than me. Ha!
Who decides that?
Taking a shot with divinity is my ability. Hitting the killing you instantly. Feel the
Feel its agility
visually.
Feel the agility visually. I'm like a monster. Which is, once again, tying to Escanor, but hold on. The whole bar is what gets me. Visually, I'm like a monster.
I'm like a monster, literally. Except
I'm like a monster, literally, except with more dignity. Honestly, like, and this is where I find myself so torn on, like, character raps. Like, just like, essentially just a character rapping. And at the same time, a rapper rapping about themes of the character. Because, like, this legit sounds like something Escanor would be rapping at Gallon right now. Like, if Gallon and Escanor, instead of doing Gallon's game, had a rap battle, he would literally say, visually, I'm like a monster, literally, except with more dignity. Like, because he's dealing with monsters, except he's simply not. He simply has more dignity. Like, that is chef's kiss. I love that. But at the same time, if Rush is rapped as, like, Escanor, I feel like this thing is, I think I like the narratives more. Like, as much as I love breaking down certain things within, like, these just character-focused raps, I really, really, really like when a creator goes out there and, like, takes the time to build in their own thematic weight behind these characters and uses the character's thematic weight to support their own. That's also really, really cool about mine. However, let's keep going.
what dignity screams like a sympathy.
Screams like a symphony. Ooh. What you got? I got screams like a symphony. That's something else right there. That is something else right there. Don't mess with that boy. He is not one of them. Like, legitimately, he is not one of them. Golly. Screams like a symphony.
Your hostility.
Stop your hostility.
Beating me, this is
an impossibility. Ooh.
an impossibility. I'm a nobility. Villainy season.
I don't think the was needed there. I think it should have just been nobility. But I get what he's trying to do. Like, hey, hold on. Let me see if I can tap it out. Like, let me see. I'll even click my fingers to see if I can do it inside.
Who decides that? Taking a shot with divinity is my ability. Hitting the killing you instantly. Feel the agility visually. I'm like a monster, literally. Except with my dignity. Screams like a sympathy. Stop your hostility. Beating me, this is an impossibility. I'm a nobility. Villainy season be crumbling under the might of my chivalry. Now
the issue, if he like took out the there, that would have messed up the pacing. So I don't even mind. Though I'm a nobility. I'm a nobility. You aren't an entire royal household, Escanor, but you're of nobility. I'm a nobility. I feel like of would have worked there better than But then again, once again, it kind of fits into the character. He believes himself to be the summit, but the summit is one, ironically enough. Sound a little bit mixed. Hold on.
I'm like a monster, literally, except with my dignity. Screams like a sympathy. Stop your hostility. Beating me, this is an impossibility. I'm a nobility. Villainy seems to be crumbling under the might of my chivalry.
Villainy seems to be crumbling under the might of my chivalry. Ooh. Ooh. I love that. The might of his chivalry, villainy, Moleskula trying to give him the slurpy derp, and then bada bing, bada boom, she got cooked for it. That was good. That's good. I like that.
Now the sun's out.
Okay, now one thing I've kind of been glazing over and just sitting here, but the one thing I love, listen to that entire verse again and tell me what the entire basis of rhyme is there.
Next attack, hear your bones crack. It goes black, a known fact. I'm so fast, you think you're stronger than me. Ha! Who decides that? Taking a shot with divinity is my ability. Hitting the killer, you instantly feel the agility. Visually, I'm like a monster, literally. Except when my dignity screams like a sympathy. Stop your hostility, beating me. This is an impossibility. I'm a nobility. Villainy sees me crumbling under the might of my chivalry. Now the sun's out, about to get these guns out.
So, if you'll notice, every single word in the end there rhymed. Ability, nobility, ability, nobility. Hold on, let me not make a, I was about to make a horrible joke, but
I'm like a monster, literally, except when my dignity screams.
dignity, like all those words rhymed to various degrees. Like you have the triple rhyme with instabilities. Wait, hold on.
Next attack, hear your bones crack. It goes black, a known fact. I'm so fast, you think you're stronger than me. Ha! Who decides that? Taking a shot with divinity.
Divinity. It's the T at the end that's working with everything. And that's impressive. That's, once again, it's difficult to do. Now, hold on one second. Hold on a moment, if you don't mind me. I'm just going to do something real quick. I'm going to take a good sip of this good stuff since I'm dehydrated. Scrumptious. I love not being dehydrated. Kids, drink your fluids. Now, that's just impressive. I don't know, I think it's cool.
Is my ability hitting the killer, you instantly feel the agility. Visually, I'm like a monster, literally. Except when my dignity screams like a sympathy. Stop your hostility, beating me. This is an impossibility. I'm a nobility. Villainy sees me crumbling under the might of my chivalry. Now the sun's out, about to get these guns out.
I'm not sure if Dub was out at that time though, because I'm feeling if Dub was out, he wouldn't be using sub footage, maybe. But it's interesting that I wonder if that is Escanor's voice actor's lab. I don't actually know what English Pride Day or English Pride Day. I don't know what English Pride form Escanor sounds like, so I don't know. If that's just some random deep guy's laugh, it works. I would want him to voice Escanor. I would want him to voice Escanor. Sun's out, about to get these guns out. Oh, we're gonna talk about this. I love this in rapping too. Hold on.
Feeling a surge of power, you coward, your time it will run out. I'm on.
Hold on.
Out, you've gone down, pathetic. Why'd you come out? Watching the clock as I'm rocking it. Notice how hot it is. I am the one now. Hitting with a red surge of power, you coward.
Another sip. Wow. Okay. So what's so cool about that two line phrase there? Well, take a listen.
I'm like a monster, literally. When my dignity screams like a sympathy. Stop your hostility, beating me. This is an impossibility. I'm a nobility. Villainy sees me crumbling under the might of my chivalry. Now the sun's out, about to get these guns out. Feeling a surge of power. You coward, your time it will run out. I'm en route, you've gone down. Pathetic.
Route.
Why'd you come out? Watching the.
Now everything rhymes with out there, right? But essentially it's just the same word, right? Like, well, pencil, that's unfair. You can't just rhyme the same word every single time. What's the point? Where's the challenge in that? Come on now, pencil, don't be mean now. Where's the challenge in that? But listen closer.
And he sees me crumbling under the might of my chivalry. Now the sun's out, about to get these guns out. Feeling a surge of power, you coward, your time it will run out. I'm en route, you've gone down, pathetic. Why'd you come out? Watching the clock as I'm rocking it. Notice how hot it is. I am the one now. Hitting with a red spitter quicker than.
There is, now notably, I'm not sure what the technique is called, but there is a thing, I think not just in rap, but in music in general, where you can manage to, as they say, check that Rustage has 1.22 million subscribers, but also you can sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? You can sort of tell. Well, no, it's not you can sort of tell. What you do is you essentially have one unifying word at the end, which in the case of that specific duo of lines is out, 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 out. However, what you do to mask that and still make, the people behind the music box jiggy is that you put in rhymes alongside those basic ones that are more complex. Sun's out, guns out, cheap, loud. Like there's so many things that are there that make it work. And I like that. I like that.
You're a power, you coward, your time will run out. I'm en route, you've gone down, pathetic, why'd you come out? Watching the clock as I'm rocking it, notice how hot it is, I am the one now. Hitting with a rhythm, spit quicker than a rhythm, bit quicker than I'm sinning now. I beg or reconsider every moment that I'm growing, I'll be showing you the flowing. You're a power, you coward, your time will run out. I'm like a monster, literally, so with my dignity. Screams like a sympathy, stop your hostility, beating me, this is an impossibility. I'm a nobility, villainy seems to be crumbling under the might of my chivalry. Now the sun's out, about to get these guns out. Feeling a surge of power, you coward, your time will run.
They note he says, "I am the one now," and notably, I get it. This song is matched, like the power progression with Escanor is matched by the speed of how quickly Rustage is rapping. That's what the whole metaphor is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the faster Rustage raps, the more speed he has, the more power he's having access to because he's gotten later in the day. But I don't know.
Hit him with a rhythm, spit quicker than a rhythm,
Like I like the rhyming scheme, but I think Rustage loses the potency behind his voice, and I think it's a little bit too fast to really stick with the character. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't got this blind praise. I got a few critiques here and there. I don't. Like it's fine. Like spit it with a rhythm.
I'm sinning now. I beg or reconsider every moment that I'm growing. I'll be showing you the flowing of my magic. Cause it's trying you'll be running, so you're frozen solid.
And like he gets it back right at the very end. Frozen solid. Like the solid is potent. It's thick. It's rich with character. Meanwhile, like with the rhythm, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like I can't understand it, but it's not as good. It's not as good in my mind.
You had to break your command. I was having fun taking you on one hand. I'm like a.
Okay, man, we're just getting to the chorus. But regardless, that, once again, we're back to normal with the presence, and I think I like that more. I don't know, like. It's not like he can't keep presence while fast rapping. Like I just praised him for it earlier on. He can definitely do that. But as cool as
I'm growing, I'll be showing you the flowing of my. You're a power, you coward, your time will run out. I'm en route, you've gone down, pathetic, why'd you come out? Watching the clock as I'm rocking it, notice how hot it is, I am the one.
I'm the one. Like honestly, you could have just. I feel like you could have just cut out the fast rapping part there. I know it's crazy to say, like that would cut off a good chunk of the song, but like. I am the one now, and then that leads into the chorus, and it literally even I think it transitions. Cause like this, hit him with a rhythm.
Quicker than
spitting quicker than
bit quicker than
bit of quitter.
And now I beg consider every
reconsider.
Whether I'm growing, I'll be showing you the flow.
I'll be showing you the magic.
Cause it's right, you.
Cause it's right, frozen solid. It all rhymes. It's all fine, but I don't know. I am the one now. Such a declarative statement doesn't fit being followed up by the like it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. I like your Rustage. I like your plan there. I see what you're trying to do. However, I think that is a little bit too much. A little bit too much. I would tone back on that. I would tone back. Like I said, I would just cut it out. Like. I'm the one.
Running so you're frozen solid. Pity you had to break your.
I am the one now. Pity you had to break your command.
Man, I was having fun taking you on one hand.
Once again, it's a bar referencing how Rita is a one-handed weapon, and he just mentioned Rita, and that's cool and all. Once again, very, very cool. But I think I would literally just cut out that entire section after I am the one now into the chorus, because I think the chorus hits a lot more after a line like that. Like, this little bit doesn't add. It sounds weird, but it doesn't add anything to the song. In fact, it even detracts away from the tone that was kind of built. The thing is, though, it doesn't necessarily detract away because, like I said, the apex of speed is meant to be the apex of power, and he goes into the apex of speed after he says, I am the one now, after he enters the quote-unquote strongest state. So it works, but I'm just not a fan of it because of where it's placed and how he starts enunciating and verbalizing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not bad, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. That's it. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm not saying it's terrible. Rustage, he's such a bad rapper. I'm never gonna say that. I don't think like I could hear 5 bad Rustage songs in a row, and just the amount of catalog of good work he has is never gonna get me to say he's a bad rapper. But still, Little things. However, let's get into in my opinion, the best part of the entire.
I'm like a god. Come and face me in the daylight. Strong as a god. But I'm growing, I'll be showing you the flowing of my magic. Cause it's strategy, you'll be running so you're frozen solid. Pity you had to break your commandment. I was having fun, taking you on one-handed. I'm like a god. Come and face me in the daylight. Strong as a god. Bet you're hoping that it stayed night. You'll face a god. Don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hit the roar of a lion. I'm like a god. Come and face me in the daylight. Strong as a god. Bet you're hoping that it stayed night. You'll face a god. Don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hit the roar of a lion.
That is just, that is the one. But no, but like in terms of capturing the apex, like the peak, that works way better than like, you know how fire that chorus would be if it came with after the one. I am the one now. I'm like, and literally go, because it would literally fit the state because of what he does in that state 99% of the time. He literally is like hit you in the daylight, like strong as a, because he is, like that's the thing, it works so beautifully because it's accurate. And I think that would have come so much better off that line. Like, just listen to it.
Light. But I'm growing, I'll be showing you the flowing of my magic. Cause it's strategy, you'll be running so you're frozen solid. Pity you had to break your commandment. I was having fun, taking you on one-handed. I'm like
and that's the thing. The undeepened parts still have that weight to them. And it's like, I'm like and then here.
God.
It's not even him. It's robot voice. But the reason why him switching up his tone slightly and picking up the pace takes me out of the narrative going along the song is because it doesn't keep with the power, the potency, and the deepness in the delivery. Like a higher register and faster does not keep with it. Meanwhile, it keeps it and it emphasizes it, and the voice that comes is just, it's striking. It strikes you like it's like divine spear. It's like divine sword. It's like these are definitive strikes, attacks. They're pinpointed. They're placed well. I'm in the day.
Light, strong God. Bet you're hoping that it stayed night. Your face a God. Don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hit the roar of a lion. I'm like
bro, something's on fire. Like, I'm like come and face me in the daylight. I'm strong. Daylight, wish it stayed night. Trying, back on attack, hear the roar of a lion. It's just heat. Like literally, I can loop that part. Like taking all my willpower enough to just loop that. It's not. And the thing is, that is just purely how well performance carries. Like, legitimately, there's nothing insane about that. There's no crazy wordplay. There's no like fancy, super deep, relevant, like, oh, this perfectly matches us. I mean, it matches us in his character, like I said about the whole one state and how I think it fits better than the fast rapping part. But it doesn't match any of that. But what it does is it's so striking. It's so different from the rest of the song up to this point and what comes after that it stands out as that peak, as that pinnacle, as the one. I think it's beautiful. I gotta give it away. I'm sorry. Once again, I haven't listened to the song in a while, so I'm gonna give it one more run through just because I love it so much.
But I'm growing, I'll be showing you the flowing of my magic. Cause it's strategy, you'll be running so you're frozen solid. Pity you had to break your commandment. I was having fun, taking you on one-handed. I'm like a God. Come and face me in the daylight. Strong as a God. Bet you're hoping that it stayed night. Your face a God. Don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hit the roar of a lion. I'm like a God. Come and face me in the daylight. Strong as a God. Bet you're hoping that it stayed night. Your face a God. Don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hit the roar of a lion.
Back on attack, hear the roar of a lion. He has a lion on his back. He's on the attack. He's the lion son of pride, so his back is literally on the attack. The lion son of pride is on the attack. That's cool. That's like a little thing. Once again, it's not complicated. It's not crazy, but it's just chef's kiss delivery. Like, amazing. Love that. I think out of all these 7 Deadly Sins raps that include that deep voice, as much as I love Meliodas' like dragon, like that deep voice, this one works just infinitely better. I don't think any of his other stuff compares in terms of the usage of that voice relative to some of these characters. Maybe he uses it in other songs that I just can't remember right now. But this is like, that is the most definitive part I remember about the song. So obviously it leaves a good impression.
Born a prince, I was spoiled by the king.
And then once again, this is just narrative storytelling. Like, I don't have to explain this to you. He's literally just telling you a story. That's the thing. I'm literally just gonna sit through this. Like, I'll comment on how he does it. I think it's good, but like, born a prince.
And queen picked on by my brother, it was hatred born from jealousy. One day we were fighting and I broke his arm incredibly. The penalty caused by this finally meant that my family saw me an enemy. No empathy.
He kind of choked on the word felony. Hold on.
Was spoiled by the king and queen picked on by my brother, it was hatred born from jealousy.
King and queen.
Day we were fighting.
Jealousy. Ooh, a stretch of a rhyme there. King and queen doesn't rhyme with anything. Incredibly jealousy and incredibly line. So I guess maybe that opening line is meant to rhyme with anything, or maybe it's going to be an A, B, B, A. Hold on, let me listen.
And I broke his arm incredibly. The penalty caused by this finally meant that my family.
No, the penalty caused by this felony. Okay, so felony's fine. I don't know why. He doesn't really choke on it. But yeah, king and queen is kind of just an opening line. There's no matching phrase to it. At least not what I'm hearing so far. But that's, once again, it's narrative. It's narrative.
To me an enemy, no empathy, a freak.
Yeah. And he sort of just, he cuts it there. So like, and once again, Rustage, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, right? Like whenever I'm listening, it's because I am specifically sitting here, listening, checking rhymes consistently. I probably miss some anyway. But simply, if I put the song on with my friends, right? They're not gonna see like, hey, I ain't hear anything rhyme with king or queen. Like no one's gonna listen to that. Or no one's gonna be like that because the song flows so well that you kind of just get caught up into the next bit of rhymes that doesn't bother you. But me, since I'm here breaking it down for y'all, you know, the thing that I don't know, like, one, you don't like when it's free, and two, I don't know, I like breaking it down like this. This is how I feel like I differentiate myself by just like straight up talking to y'all how much I enjoy these things. Because I could just sit here and like glaze through it. But I don't know. I enjoy talking about this, so that's why I'll always go in depth. I know I'm turning like 3 minute 7 second song, and I'm on my second phase of recording, and we're only 13 minutes in, and I think the first phase for like 20 or so minutes. So obviously, I talk a lot, but I don't know, I like to. So
Monster to those around me. Helplessly, I keep on looking for hope to ground.
Around, ground, once again, that whole little having the end phrase be the same word but be matched up by the beginning, or the word preceding that will rhyme, which gives you I'll call it a cheat double rhyme effect. You know what I mean? Like insanity, dignity, like there was actual genuine double rhymes earlier, but then this is just like, I mean, it still works. It's still a double rhyme, and it sounds pleasant to listen to. Ground me, found me, like it still sounds nice, but it's not lyrically. It's not as impressive, and sometimes because it's not that impressive, it's because it's not as stand out as a genuine double rhyme where you take either two rhyming words and rhyme within the words, or take two completely different words and like compile them back to back so that they do rhyme. It still is impressive enough that it'll sound good, but sometimes people may get confused and be like, "Oh, you're just rhyming me." That's the only risk with it, but I think it's solid enough.
This body like a beast, this cursed chains that bound me. It wasn't until murder and Meliodas had found me. A freak, a monster to those around me. Helplessly, I keep on looking for hope to ground me. This body like a beast, this cursed chains that bound me. It wasn't until a freak, a monster to those around me. Helplessly, I keep on looking for hope to ground me. This body like a beast, this cursed chains that bound me. It wasn't.
The emphasis he puts on beast there sounds like it's supposed to rhyme with something, but I don't think it rhymes with anything. I don't know. A beast, like he puts too much weight on the word beast for it to not rhyme with anything. Beast, yeah, nothing rhymes there. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. It doesn't break the rhyme scheme or anything. I don't think it's supposed to be. It's not meant to rhyme with anything. But it's just on beast, chains that found me. Like he puts emphasis on words that are meant to rhyme, which pokes them out to you, which is a good technique to have. But once again, it's that double-edged sword, right? It's kind of like the whole double rhyming thing that we're talking about here, the ground, found, around. Like, if you aren't careful, if you build up a pattern, whenever that pattern breaks, it doesn't break in what sounds like an intentional way. It's a little bit confusing. Once again, this is a weird thing where I'm not, like, this isn't bad. It doesn't make the song, oh, this is horrible. Rustage didn't write it right. No, this is still amazing. And you won't hear it. You won't be paying attention to that. You'll still be wrapped up in the narrative. But, once again, I'm here on the deep stuff. Let's keep going.
Until Merlin and Meliodas had found me. In battle, you know when we're done.
Well, once again, that's just narrative stuff. It's fine. And we're kind of back to the battle, you know, we're done. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit here.
Hey, using my merciless son. Hey, obliterating till every atom is dead and gone. Hey, sin of the line, define the laws.
Hold on, did any of that even rhyme?
In battle, you know when we're done. Hey, using my merciless son. Hey, obliterating till every atom is dead and gone. Hey, sin.
Done, son, and gone don't rhyme. They don't. I know what you're trying to go for there. Son, done. Really, the word would be goon. That's the word you're looking to rhyme. But I don't think you did. I don't know. I'm gonna sign a few critiques on that one. That doesn't work.
The line, define the laws you're applying. My level is
lion, applying, like that's good. I like that. Once again, lion, and applying are two words you wouldn't typically think to rhyme. That's good. That's a solid rhyme. Once again, that's the thing. Whenever Rustage has something that may seem a little bit off, a little bit weird, like something that would grab your attention, unless you're like literally me, finger over the pause button, like legit haunting it, waiting for something to happen, then it doesn't matter. Because he immediately follows up with lion, applying, and increasing the speed, so you just don't notice. Smart. Good to do. But you can escape me, Rustage, of like 3 years ago.
climbing, you're fighting in the night is now over, the sun is rising.
Rising, applying. It's the ins. It's the ins, but I don't like that. I don't know. Hold on, let me re-listen to that. Let me listen to that whole thing.
In battle, you know when we're done. Hey, using my merciless son. Hey, obliterating till every atom is dead and gone. Hey, sin of the line, define the laws you're applying. My level is climbing, you're fighting in the night is now over, the sun is rising.
Climbing and rising, I think are supposed to rhyme there, but I don't know. Once again, it kind of falls into that issue. The lack of emphasis on which words are supposed to rhyme. Ironically enough, that's what I praised him for earlier in the initial fast rap. The lack of enunciation kind of kills that a little bit. Because I think he was... Let me listen to it once again.
In battle, you know when we're done. Hey, using my merciless son. Hey, obliterating till every atom is dead and gone. Hey, sin of the line, define the laws you're applying. My level is climbing, you're fighting in the night is now over, the sun is rising.
Because there wasn't enough weight put on the word climbing, the rhyme sort of gets buried within the fast-speaking phrase. And once again, that's the danger. That's the danger of fast rap. Like, you're going, but if you aren't careful, if you don't enunciate well enough, certain rhymes will get lost. Like, I had to go look for that. I shouldn't have to go, like I can... It's fine for me to go back and look for or spot something that's good, right? Lion, applying. That's just smart usage of words and how they rhyme in ways you wouldn't think they rhyme because the last three letters don't exactly match. That's good. I like looking for that. Little rhyming bonuses like that. Those are like free treats. Meanwhile, if I'm literally going back to look for your rhyme because I can't hear it that well because you didn't enunciate it well enough, that's not good. Let's give it one more run back so y'all get like I want to like back myself up with what I'm saying to make sure I don't sound crazy. But like, listen.
In battle, you know when we're done. Hey, using my merciless son. Hey, obliterating till every atom is dead and gone. Hey.
So listen to how he says merciless son and gun. Well, the merciless son, something on like. But notice how the rhyming phrase or the rhyming word or the part of the word that's supposed to rhyme has an emphasis on it. It either ends a line or has a bit of like some girth, some weight behind it. But then listen to what's supposed to rhyme within the next.
Sin of the line, define the laws you're applying. My level.
Sin of the lion, find you also you're applying. Once again, and enough emphasis put on there that you naturally catch it just listening. But
Climbing, you're fighting a night.
climbing goes by so quick. Like you can barely hear it. Like, hold on. I'll let the whole thing run.
In battle, you know when we're done. Ayy, using my merciless son. Ayy, obliterating till every atom is dead and gone. Ayy, sin of the line, defying the laws you're applying. My level is climbing, you're fighting a night. In the night is now over, the sun is rising. My heart's a poem.
Did you hear it? I can, because I know where it is now. But on my initial leer through, I didn't hear it. Because he puts, there's so little impact and weight put on the word climbing, because he's so quick to try and stay on beat to get to the next phrase, that thus it loses what weight it's supposed to have, so we automatically clicks that's supposed to rise, that's supposed to match with the word rising. Climbing and rising, both rhyme because of the ing at the end, but it's due to the lack of weight put on there, it doesn't come off as smooth. Genuine critique, but still amazing. That's the thing, like I always kind of have to bag my critiques with like, Rustage is still the GOAT though. Like it's like, I point out a mistake in a 5-star dinner. Like, oh no, I had a little too much potatoes with my steak and potatoes. Like the ratio wasn't perfect. Like people make mistakes. People are human. I'm giving these critiques just so it doesn't sound like blind praise. But every time I give a critique, I gotta be like, well, it's definitely it's worthy of some blind praise. Don't get me wrong.
It's flowing just like a ballad. Your time is over. You're fearing me just like gallant. Cut it like buddy. You better be backing up and then. It's rising. My heart's a poem. It's flowing just like a
poem flowing. See, once again, it's that emphasis on words. Listen to the sirens. Can you hear them? Because I can, and I got headphones on. However, hold on.
gun, ayy. Sin of the line, defying the laws you're applying. My level is climbing, you're fighting a night, and the night is now over, the sun is rising. My heart's a poem.
Poem.
It's flowing just like a
poem. It's flowing. Like, I feel like it's supposed to rhyme, but I'm not sure if that is meant to be like a rhyme within a rhyme. I don't know. Because it isn't almost there. But the word, that thing that messes me up, and it's because I like, you can play with words. Like, if you're ever, for some reason, if any of y'all in the comments, or for some reason, an inspiring music creator, I always encourage to play with words whenever you're making verbal music and not just like playing piano or an instrument, because it allows you to broaden your spectrum. Listen to words, play with them, mess around with them a little bit. That leads to those creative sounds. But however, it's flowing just like a ballad. Gallad's not his name, and galland doesn't rhyme. So let's go.
Ballad, your time is over, you're fearing me just like gallant. Cut it like buddy, you better.
So what he tried to do was, he tried to get ballad to rhyme. He, instead of ending with a galland, the D, like the lind, he ends with a T. But it still doesn't work. Ballad and gallad doesn't work. Like, the thing is, sounds wrong. He needs the D at the end. But it's just the meat of the phrase. Like, D on its own is a consonant. You typically, I mean, sometimes, this isn't always the case, because there are some words, I believe, where you can rhyme and they're just consonants. You rhyme with consonants. But vowels there, the galland and ballad don't work because that N in there. Galland versus ballad. So it sounds almost right because of the ind. Or not even, that's the thing, the ind only exists in galland, not ballad. Like ad versus ind. Technically the d at the very end both rhyme because you're putting a lot of emphasis on the D. But like, because of that, it doesn't rhyme fully. And it sounds a little weird.
Gun, A, sin of the line, defying the laws you're applying. My level is climbing, you're fighting a night, and the night is now over, the sun is rising. My heart's a poem, it's flowing just like a ballad. Your time is over, you're fearing me just like
poem over fearing me. You could have thrown poem flowing. I feel like, hi, me, person who does not rap. I feel like you could have thrown in, especially if you're gonna go with such a long phrases before you get to that final not rhyme, you could have slipped in, like, it could have been a because what I'm assuming it is technically just a really long a rhyme scheme, because what you were aiming to rhyme was ballad and gallant. But since you have such long phrases in between, you would have benefited from doing an A B C rhyme scheme. Look at how many commas there are there.
Gun A, sin of the line, defying the laws you're applying. My level is climbing, you're fighting a nut in the night is now over, the sun is rising. My heart's a poem, it's flowing.
Just like a ballad. So my heart's a poem, it's flowing. But once again, due to the weight he puts on the word flowing, it seems like there should be another comma there. So this is technically 3 commas.
Just like a ballad, your time is...
Then there are 3 commas. So I don't know, Rustage from 3 years ago. Rustage definitely doesn't. Like, I'm going on a lot of Rustage's old songs just because there's some really synth songs. And hi, fun fact, this is the year suddenly since. But due to that, like, I'm just noticing a lot of things that Rustage has gotten better at. Like, one of my favorite new Rustage songs is his Sakuna rap that we're definitely gonna react to. But off the top of my head, despite how many times I've listened to that song, I don't think he makes any of the mistakes I'm pointing out here in that song. But we'll see when I break it down. Because like I said, these breakdowns force me to listen deeper than I usually do. So you'll probably get more analysis out of me than you would if I'm just vibing while drawing or like, this is the thing, this is my entire task right now. Usually whenever I listen to music, I'm either doing something else. I'm like driving, which takes up my attention. I'm drawing, which takes up my attention. Something else is going on whenever I'm listening to music. So I'm never as critical of it. But now that I'm simply sitting here focusing, breaking it down line for line, it's a lot more easy for me to pick up on things that I wouldn't notice normally, which is cool. You good? We good. All right.
Over, you're fearing me just like gallant. Cut it like buddy, you bet.
And once again, I don't know, is it just me? But is it just me, or does the fast rapping seem a little bit unnecessary? Like, and this is just a phase I think the anime rap community in general was in, where just for some reason fast rapping was just prevalent. But maybe that's just because, like, I'll admit a lot of my early anime rap before I discovered DPS, before I discovered Peso Pete, before I discovered Dizzy 8, before I discovered, hey, even Swab. I think Swabity was a little bit like that. I think I saw Swabity pretty quickly. But, like, a lot of it was that like, fast rapping is still good, still a good skill to have today, but it was crazy prevalent within the early days. So I think that's why it's so prominent here. But then once again, we kind of like break the narrative that was being told here. Like, the narrative that was being told through build-up kind of ends by the time of the first chorus, and then we just go into like an actual narrative, and then we kind of just rock. But it's fine. It's not too bad. But
I'll be backing up and then I'll crush you like a bucket and I feel like a god. I'm a top. I won't stop till you is rising. My heart's a poem, it's flowing just like a ballad. Your time is over, you're fearing me just like gallant. Cut it
like it's butter.
Buddy, you better be backing up and then I'll crush
Butter bug?
like a bucket and I feel like God, I'm a top. I won't stop till you drop. It's a is rising. My heart's a poem, it's flowing just like a ballad. Your time is over, you're fearing me just like gallant. Cut it like buddy, you better be backing up and then I'll crush you like a bucket and I feel like a god. I'm a top.
None of that rhymed. He just said things quickly. That was kind of cheeks. I'm gonna lie, none of that rhymed. Bug, deity, butter, like nothing rhymed there. I don't know. Then he goes on to rhyme 3 times.
I won't stop till you
Top, stop, drop, and force a habit doesn't rhyme with anything. Like, once again, in the moment you are gonna notice that, but like listening to it deeply, like, I don't know, you gotta just throw fast rap in there just to throw it in there. Once again, it doesn't serve a narrative purpose that the song is trying to convey, because there isn't much of a narrative purpose here. But then you go into a triple rhyme, you go into an AAA, and then you just go into another unfinished, like, and you open another rhyme scheme.
drop. It's a force of habit. I'm like a god.
And I do like this. This is the flip on the second chorus. That's very, very good. However, actually, you know what? I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. Actually, I'll hold on. I'll a little bit. Hold on. We'll just let it rock. But what I love about the second chorus is how ominous it sounds, and it's only because I think he put a little bit more breath into it.
Face me in the daylight, strong as a god, bet you're hoping that.
Also, he removed the voice at first. Well, wait.
State night, you'll face a god, don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hear the roar of a lion. I'm like a god, come and face.
But see, it's the subtle buildup. Once again, it's the fight on screen is the Escanor fight, and like that haunting, ominous presence. Unlike before in the initial fight or Escanor's initial appearance, there is no spawn Escanor. There's no buildup that's necessary there. Escanor just appears. It's a plan. However, he lands and it's this slow, tempered walk. But then once the battle begins, it's the dominant, overpowering.
Be in the daylight, strong as a god, but you're hoping that it stayed night. You'll face a god, don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hear the roar of a lion. I'm like a god, come and face me in the daylight. Strong as a god, but you're hoping that it stayed night. You'll face a god, don't wanna bother with trying. Back on attack, hear the roar of a lion.
All right. All right, we'll give Rustage.
Hello,
I think I give it
Escanor
enough
here, telling you to like and subscribe, and also to watch all of the other 7 Deadly Sins raps by Rustage on his YouTube channel. He has other
We're
content
definitely
there as
gonna
well
react to
for all
the
of
Rustage
your anime
raps.
gaming rap needs, whatever you want. Praise the sun.
But look at that. He's not even talking to you as Rustage. He's talking to you as quote unquote Escanor. So that just goes to show you how deep even Rustage was, and like, I need to be the character. I can't be myself with themes of the character. However, overall, if we're gonna give, I think a good thing I'll do, and I'll definitely do this in rap battles. There's a rap I may record. No, I'm gonna edit this, and then if I still have no, I have to go to sleep. But like, if I still have energy, I know what I want to react to a rap battle that Rustage did, because this will be where that main system comes in whenever I break down rap battles. We're gonna do a little verse breakdown, or like parts of the song. So we're gonna have the chorus. I'm gonna kind of, the 2 choruses will be one here. I know there's the gentle buildup in the second one to match the Esterosa fight, and the initial one is supposed to be like culmination of the Gallon fight / the one, but we're gonna leave that be. So we're gonna focus on what exists as a 2 chorus. First off, the chorus gets first spot. Easy is the best usage of the bass, like the tone drop for the like that's the best easily out of like all of his songs from this period that I remember off the top of my head. It easily gets number 1. The second one is the first verse. I think the first verse does a great job of not only keeping a solid rhyme scheme, but on top of that, building that narrative, that strong, cohesive narrative that grows and grows and grows. The only time the first verse actually fumbles is I believe when it goes into the fast rap and then slows down again and then goes into the chorus. I think you should have just ended off the one, I am the one now, and instantly hop into the chorus, cut out the rest of that part. Meanwhile, the second verse kind of comes in last because it's pretty bland. It's just recap of Escanor's narrative, doesn't fully rhyme that well, has a lot of weird things in there, has some missed rhymes, has some off-brand, like, it's not bad, like, it's still better than anything I could do. Like, I always say this, take what I say with a grain of salt. Know that I am nowhere near the level of content creator that Rustage is, and I don't think I ever will be. Don't ever expect that guy who raps, essentially, but I still will critique it, obviously. It's just not some of Rustage's best work, but still extremely solid. So overall, I give the song, what did I give the Meliodas song? I don't even remember what I gave the Meliodas song. But if I had to give this song a rating, a 7 out of 10. Because there's just, yeah, I'd say a 7. Because those 3 points are taken off for all the little breaks in narrative, the little missed rhymes here and there, the weird rhymes, all of that. That's where the points are coming off. However, the rest of the song, with the good storytelling, with the good rhyming, with the impressive wordplay, the impressive word manipulation, the rest of that is too good for me to take off more points than that. However, those are my thoughts. Please send me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Any support would be appreciated. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.